And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today I'm going to be taking a look at a small game called One Night Werewolf. This is from Japan, and it's a small game, comes with only a few tiles in the game. I know that this game has been picked up by BZA Games, so Ted Alsbach, who's the king of Werewolf with his Ultimate Werewolf, is going to be making a version of that. I don't know how much that will change from this one. But this is essentially a speed game of Werewolf. You know, if you've never played the game Werewolf, maybe you call it Mafia or Werewolf. Essentially the game, some people are werewolves, and everyone will close their eyes at night, and the werewolves are killing people off one by one, and you have to, during the day, you lynch someone, and hopefully you lynch a werewolf and not humans. It's a very fun, entertaining game, but there are days and nights in the game. This is called One Night Werewolf because it's one night, a very fast game. Let me show you how it plays. The game is made up simply of 8 cards. You can see each card, each tile actually. Now this is one problematic component problem with the game. And that's because in this game, you're going to be, it's very critical that you need to know what everyone's roles are. So the problem that you have here is that tiles can get marked, and there really isn't much as like a tile protector. See, with cards, I put them in card protectors because any marking could give something away. So that's a problem. Maybe it will be fixed when the new version of this comes out. But each of these tiles is a different type, okay? And it's done in this 8-bit character because for some reason that's the rage these days. So you have 4 villagers, you have 2 werewolves, you have this guy here who's called the Phantom Thief, and then you have the Sorcerer. Now, these cards, you're going to use a certain number of them depending on how many players are in the game. For example, if there's 7 players in the game, you use them all. If there's 3 players in the game, you're only going to use 5 of them. You'll use 2 werewolves, 1 villager, a sorcerer, and a phantom thief. So basically the number of villagers is what changes. But let's say we're playing 7 players, or I'm sorry, let's say we're playing 4 players. In 4 players, you're going to use 2 werewolves, 2 villagers, and then the 2 special abilities. So what you'll do is you will mix them all up, all the cards up, and then you'll put 2 in the middle, and each person will get 1, which you look at secretly. So I'm a werewolf, all right? I don't know what everybody else is. Then you are going to play the game, which is a very short game. Essentially, what you'll do is you'll go through some rounds at night. First, the sorcerer goes. The sorcerer is allowed to look at one person's card or the 2 in the middle. So they can look at the 2 in the middle. Of course, the sorcerer is in the middle, so this is a really cheating move. But okay, so if you're the sorcerer, you can look at the 2 in the middle, or you can look at one card that someone else has. Then the werewolves look at each other. Now, if you don't see anybody else, that means you're the only werewolf. And there's a possibility that there's no werewolves if both the werewolf cards are here in the middle. Then the Phantom Thief has the opportunity to, he can look at his card, well, he already knows that he's a Phantom Thief, and he can switch with one of the ones in the middle or with somebody else, but he doesn't have to, so let's say he does. Now I'm no longer the werewolf, I'm the Phantom Thief, but I don't know that. So everybody wakes up then, everyone is doing this while their heads are bowed, their eyes are closed. Everybody wakes up at this point, and then you need to vote on who you think the werewolves are. Everyone's going to vote. And when that person is killed, let's say everyone votes and this guy's killed, hooray, humans win. Let's say everyone voted and killed this one, well, humans win. If they vote on this person, then the werewolves win. So that's basically it. Everyone's the most votes. If there's multiple people that are voted on, as long as one werewolf is killed, the humans win. And it's possible, like I said, that there's no werewolves, so everybody could say, I think it's a peaceful village at this point. If everybody agrees on that, then you reveal the cards, and if there's no werewolves, you all win. Otherwise, the werewolves win. All right, well, the game itself is really simple. And there are some technical problems. I already mentioned the tile problem, but there's also a problem of when you switch tiles, it's noisy. So what we've done to mitigate this is have everybody make noise, tap their fingers or whatever, so that, you know, as people are moving the tiles around on the board, you can see. And if you're the person who switches tiles, the Phantom Thief, you should move everyone's tile a little bit, because when you look up, you can see whose tile's been moved. So just move them all. That way, at least everyone thinks possibly their tile has been messed with. The game is really just a guessing game, because you have no information to go on other than the sorcerer. So the sorcerer can say in the very first turn, they're a werewolf. And you say, oh, okay. But see, once you figure that out after game 1, then on game 2, the werewolf can say, I'm the sorcerer, they're the werewolf. You can do all sorts of things, but really the context here is very limited. There's not lots of special abilities. You play this game 10 times maybe, and after a while it's going to feel very samey. So I'm hoping that when Ted reprints it, he adds in more special roles and different things. The game is an interesting idea, and I had fun playing it. Here's my problem, folks. I could just pull 5 cards from Werewolf and do the same thing. Or 7 cards, or 10 cards, however many cards I need. I don't need this set. Especially, look, okay folks, I get the pixel thing. It was cool, we have a few games, Pixel Lincoln, Pixel Tactics, then there's Boss Monster, now there's this. Okay, yay, we did these graphics in the 80s because that's all we had. But now we have cool graphics, so let's stop the pixel thing. All right, that's my small pixel rant. But, it's okay. It's interesting. I just don't know that there's a need to get it when I can just do the same rule set with regular werewolf cards. So maybe a future one. So I'm not going to recommend that you get this, because you can just do it. It's an interesting exercise and it's fun, but it will have no way the staying power, that resistance, that Werewolf Inquisition, that Werewolf have, because those games have things to go on. You have information to delve and from people. Here it's a one-shot thing. Either they're lying or they're not. No information, so you're just reading someone's expressions. And while that can be entertaining, yeah, I'll bring this out and play this real quick, as a sort of thing, but I wouldn't go out and spend money on it as a total game in of itself.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.
There.